It's 30 days since I started my little experiment with AngelLift. What is AngelLift? It is a little device, tool, luxury skincare product. I don't know. Basically, it offers correction without injection. I did not come up with that line. That is the company's tagline that I took from their website. But does this little thing work? We're going to find out. It promises to lift. It promises to exercise the lower portion of the face. It promises to get rid of fine lines and wrinkles and help fix these little jowls and make your lips fuller. It also basically keeps you away from Botox, fillers, lasers, and maybe can ward off other procedures. Does it work? We're going to find out. But before we get into my before and after photos, I want to talk a little bit more about what I've learned, the differences that I noticed. We're going to unbox this thing. I'm going to show it to you. And we're going to get into if it's going to be worth me sticking with this experiment for a total of 90 days. Because according to Reddit and according to the other places where I went and did major deep dives on this product, you basically have to stick with it for 60 to 90 days to see the results. Can we do that? We're going to talk about it. So the AngelLift is a non-invasive skincare tool that basically helps with the lines around your mouth. You know, those like smoker's lines or from straws or just from aging, as well as your laugh lines in here that like sag. It's basically kind of like a mini gym for the lower part of your face. The thing is, it has like a rebound effect for people that I've seen in some of the before and afters, where when you start evening out this and kind of exercising this part of the face and using this, you also kind of like make your eyes a little brighter and wider, a little more open. And sometimes people have like other effects on other areas of their face. It was originally developed as a medical grade technology. It's like the real deal. So let's just get into it. Okay, how about that? It's blue. This is definitely a case with a mirror. Their little tool here, their little saying here, correction without injection. It really does give you correction without injection. I like it because, you know, I don't use Botox. I don't use filler. We'll get into all that. Basically, it's a dermastrip. It uses like dermal pressure. So you put it here under your, like in between your teeth and your lip. And then you put it on the bottom and you alternate and you wear it for a certain amount of time. You can build up towards it, but you should be using it for the allotted amount of time. And it kind of becomes like a nice little ritual. That's what I kind of use it for, is like I use it like all the time, like when I'm like cleaning, when I'm like getting ready in the morning, when I'm putting on my makeup. I am using, because I got upgraded, because I have been using the Derma Lifts and the Angel Strips for a while. And what I mean by upgraded is I have been using a different level of them, but because I've been using that level for a while, granted, not consistently and how I'm supposed to, for the real results you get from it, I was told that I could head off to the professional level. And we're going to get into all the different types of levels and we're going to talk about all this. It's surgical grade material. So it's very like hypoallergenic. You shouldn't have a reaction to it. It's literally, this is all medical grade stuff. This was developed as a medical grade tool. And let's see what the instructions say, because I never really read them. But since this is official, we're going to do that. Rinse your new derma strips with soap and water or mouthwash. I basically wash mine with soap and water. Place only one derma strip under your upper or lower lip as high and as comfortable. Close your mouth and completely relax your face for a few moments. If you have no irritations, it's not bothering you, allow your derma strip to remain in place for 15 to 30 minutes. Again, sometimes in the beginning, it may be annoying. It may, you know, your mouth is getting used to it. It's a new thing. You may not have like 30 minutes, but trust me with these things, like you literally can wear them doing anything. Like start off with 15 minutes and like work up towards your 30. Relax your face. Do not eat, do not drink, do not talk. Don't fall asleep with them. That is like the main thing. So don't wear them while you're sleeping. Like no sleeping with them, no taking a nap. Just, you don't want to swallow these things, okay? That is my disclaimer as a nurse and a human, like a responsible human. Rinse after every use because you don't want them to get cruddy and like gross, and you don't want to get like sick or mouth infections or whatever. If you have any irritation, stop using them. For best results, replace after 60 days of use. We're going to use them every day for 90 days, and we're going to see what happens. And we're going to do check-ins. These are way fancier than when I got them years ago. Am I doing it? So that's what they look like. We have 2 of them. Got it. Both of them go in here. So put both of them in here. All right, so what's changed over the last 30 days? Well, one, I actually stuck to using this thing. But I have to tell you that this device was not completely new to me. I had actually been using it prior to this little experiment. I just was not using it consistently. I would use it before I would go to events. I would use it 2 to 3 times a week. I would use it when I remembered. But I really wanted to see before I started talking about this product, promoting it, and giving you an offer code, because I have reached out to AngelLift and told them how much I like the product. So we got an offer code, Donna10, for 10% off your purchase. I needed to stick with it. And because I am a nurse, and because I am science-based, and because I'm not going to talk about something and promote it just to get a cash grab, I needed to know if it worked. So I wanted to do an experiment, a 30, a 60, and a 90-day. This is my 30-day video. You should probably subscribe now so you can stay tuned to see what happens over the next couple of weeks and the next couple of months with my use of this product. What I've noticed, I have a little notes here. I've noticed a little bit more of a lift. I've also noticed that my lips are fuller. Prior to staying consistent with this product, I used to use it before I had an event. So basically, before I had an event, I would put it in while I was doing my makeup, while I was getting ready, while I was like doing my hair, because you use it. I'm now up to a half hour per day, which again, you should use it to what you can tolerate. Max 30 minutes per day for the top, max 30 minutes per day for the bottom. I've also upgraded my device with this experiment. So how do you figure out which AngelLift is for you? Well, they actually have a thing on their website, a little quiz that will help you figure out which AngelLift is for you. But there are 3 types. There's the collagen, there's the professional, and there's the vermilion. I think that's how you say it. I am currently using the professional because I decided to take it up a notch. I did start out with the collagen, and the next level lift, there's like different versions of lift. So it's the collagen, then it's the vermilion, then it's the professional. You know me, I jumped to professional. I started out with collagen, now I'm at professional. But you go on the website, you figure out which one is for you and which one is the best and which one you need to kind of address what's going on for you. And you can take their little quiz to figure that out. I would use it when I was getting my hair done, when I was doing my hair, or when I was doing my makeup. And what I liked about it was that before events, it would make my lips a little fuller. It would make my face feel a little bit refreshed. And that's what I liked about it. What have I noticed? I think my fine lines are diminishing. I definitely think my lip looks a little bit fuller. And one of my areas of concern was over here where I have this dimple. See? And I feel like it's making a line there. I feel like that's softened a bit. I'll show you the before and afters. You can decide. Other thing that I've noticed is I feel like the cleft here is a little bit more even. And that kind of was bothering me a lot. But I do feel like since using it, it's a little bit more aligned. The other thing that I notice is that I do feel like I talked about my TMJ and my teeth grinding, I do feel like when I'm at rest and I keep my tongue to the roof of my mouth, I have a little bit more space, which is cool. I think it's super simple. I think anybody could stick to this. Anybody can use it. There is no learning curve. It's just remembering that you actually have to do it. That's basically the hardest part of this. I also don't really know what I'm feeling around my mouth, but I do feel like it's working, if that makes sense. Basically, like, when you go to the gym and you work out and the next day your muscles are kind of like, oh yeah, we did something. That's how it feels after I use this, like later in the day. And it's crazy because as I start nearing the end of a session, so like say I keep it in for 30 minutes, around like 25, 28 minutes, I start to feel like my lip or like right here is getting like heavier or feels like it's been worked out. And I'm like ready to take the thing out. I don't know what it's doing, but it does feel like it's doing something. And it's kind of like, when you smile too much and like the next day, like in here feels weird or your cheeks feel weird because you were smiling and laughing. That's the same feeling I get like in here and in here, like a few hours later or the next day. So it is doing something, but I don't know the proper medical term for that. Working it out, exercising it, challenging it, resistance, I don't know. But basically where we started, subtle fine lines, some loss of elasticity around my mouth, a little bit of like hooding or droop, and me just having this like desire to kind of refine and lift a bit and make things feel a little bit more supple, look a little bit more rejuvenated, and to have my face look a little bit more fresher and younger. I do use frownies on the top of my head and my forehead, but again, I really didn't have anything for the lower portion of my face. And that's what I was looking for because the frownies kind of really don't work on the lower portion of my face. And I did interview the person who created frownies and the person who started the company. And she said the best results that you do get really are on your forehead and your 11s It does work on the bottom, but it's basically undoing what kind of like happened during the day. You're not going to see like the major results like you would see on your forehead. So this is again why I went on this journey of using this AngelLift and trying to find something for the bottom and the jowls, which I just see them coming in and they're coming in uninvited. It's like, no. All right. So that's what we're doing. So that's what I noticed. Take a good look at my before and afters. I'm going to circle some of the things that I think were issues or that I was concerned about. And you can see if you think there was a difference between the 30 days. Again, I do hear from the hot streets of the internet that you do need 60 or 90 days to see results. And you do need 60, 90 days of being consistent, which after this, I totally plan on doing. I do think this is worth it. And for the collective, and myself, I mean, let's be honest, there's a little selfishness in this. This is my face. I'm going to stick to this for 60 days, 90 days, and then I'm going to report back. I do think this is worth sticking to. I got to be honest. I think this is a good experiment. We'll see. And if it can help somebody out and it helps you figure out if you want to purchase this or use it, or maybe not, then it was worth it, right? We did something here. All right, so basically, this thing is way easier to use than some of my other devices. It's easier to use than my microcurrent device, which is right here, collecting dust on my shelf because of, you got to charge this thing, you got to use it. It's like a whole routine. It's also better than my LED, which I love my LED, but you can't really be multitasking, which, I'm trying to stop doing, but it's kind of hard. The LED I kind of use during meditation. What I started doing was doubling up and using the AngelLift with my LED while I was meditating. Let me tell you something. You want to check a bunch of things off your list? That's how you do it. I was actually shocked that I actually stuck with this because it is very easy to use. And in my next video, I'm going to talk about all the ways and show you all the ways of how I've incorporated into my day and basically use it without even like remembering that I use it. But this is more of the nitty gritty and more of, the first hurrah of this. So let's not get too carried away on too many paths. Okay, Donna? That is the reminder to myself. It's pretty easy to get your time in. It's pretty easy to use. Only thing is you should not use it when you know you're going to be falling asleep, when you think you're going to be falling asleep. Meditation, if you're one of those who dozes off. If you're drinking or eating, or if you're going to be talking a lot, which is why I don't have it in my mouth right now. A lot of times when I used to use this thing before I was getting ready to go to an event or to go to a party or, whatever, a lot of times after I would do like my makeup or post myself up on Instagram or do like an Instagram story, people would slide into my DMs asking me if I just got filler, if I did like anything to my lips, whatever, because I really do feel like this thing gives you a little lip flip. And yes, you should use it consistently and you should use it for the recommended program. But I also think it can give you a little bump and a little like, fullness if you're going to use it before an event. So that's my little sidebar and off-label use. I don't know if the company co-signs that, but that's how I use it. Full disclosure, I have not done filler. I have not done Botox. I have done lasers, and I have also done microneedling and PRP in the past. My last session of PRP was probably over 2 years ago, and that was with a microneedling session. So I haven't done anything since then. One of the reasons why I had to look for an alternative for facial preservation, aging gracefully, we'll call it, is because I have some nerve damage and facial nerve damage in this side of my face. I was told by an expert and team of physicians that it would probably be in my best interest to stay away from Botox or neurotoxins because we don't know what the hell the result is going to be. And also, I already have weakness around this left eye, so why would we do anything that could potentially cause more weakness or create something that we cannot fix? Because we don't know what the results are going to be. Again, they did say if I wanted to go get Botox, I should probably get it done with a neurologist or a plastic surgeon, or I think it's called an ocular plastic surgeon or ocular something optometrist. But anyway, someone who really knows the anatomy and the nerves near the eye. They basically, without saying it, were like, don't go get a Groupon and go try to get Botox, okay? Don't go to some fly-by-night type of joint. Don't have one of your friends do it. Like, your environment needs to be super controlled, which also means super expensive. But when they're kind of telling you all these things and I'm a nurse, I'm like, you know what? I think we'll chill on this for a little bit until, maybe the aliens come or AI or someone invents some, easier like little and we can just erase wrinkles in 5 minutes. So I decided to stick with this product and use this. And do I think it's working? Yeah, I do. And we should probably talk about that now. I am starting to see some difference. I am starting to see some plumping. I am starting to see some firming. I do feel whatever the hell that feeling is around the orbit of my mouth, that this thing is doing something. I don't know. I feel a little more snatched, I think, than my photos. Could be placebo, but I do feel it. And sometimes feeling it gives you the confidence that you need, to go in the room or to ask for more money or to, slide into those DMs, right? So again, we need evidence, but sometimes placebo does have an effect. So what happens next in this ongoing experiment? Have I noticed a difference? Yes, we've gone over that. Do I think this is a miracle? I don't think anything's a miracle besides a miracle, but I am noticing subtle differences. So this is worth sticking to. So the next 30 days are about trying to figure out if the small changes turn into real results and if we can keep taking it up a notch. That's what I want to see. Consistency is key. So I'm sticking with this in my daily routine. I'm going to stick to 30 minutes top, 30 minutes bottom each day. And I'll probably also give myself a little bit of a bump before I go out or before I go to an event. But I'll report back if I actually do that and how many times I actually did it. So we have data because we need data, right? This is kind of like a mini science experiment that I'm doing in my bathroom. I'm going to track whether these results keep improving or if we plateau. Okay, we're going to figure out more ways to incorporate it and use it and work it into the daily routine for the people who already slid into my DMs and are like, I can't do this every day. This is too much. I gotta be honest, this is like one of the easiest things you can do. I use the microcurrent. I use the, gua sha. I use the massage. I do a lot of the things, which I have stopped, by the way, for this experiment. And I gotta be honest, this is probably the easiest out of all of them. So for my newbies and also for my I don't got time, hashtag girl bosses. This might be where you want to start. We are also going to assess if this is a long-term skincare staple. And if this is something we need to keep in our arsenal and we need to keep in our makeup bag and we need to throw in our travel bag when we go away, we need to figure that out. And we're going to figure that out and I'm going to report back. Because I do believe in taking care of your skin. I believe in giving it the right nutrients. I believe in giving it the right products. I believe in doing things when you need to do them. I also believe in rest. I believe in hydration. I believe in eating right. I also believe good skin kind of comes from within. Also, less stress. You're stressed or you're in your own peace, you can see the difference on somebody's skin. But as I'm getting older, I am looking for ways to prevent, I am looking for ways to fix, and I am looking for ways to do this kind of like on a budget and also not very, very aggressive. And also I want to try to keep no shade to anybody who's doing fillers, who's getting cosmetic surgery. And who knows, down the road, maybe I'll get cosmetic surgery. I have no idea. But I am trying to keep looking like me. And I do think, my friend Casey Balsham, who's a comedian, has a joke about our smile lines and our laugh lines. And it's like, oh, look at you. You actually had joy in your life. We should erase that. And it's like, I don't want to erase my smile lines. I don't want them to not be there. I know I'm getting older. I know I'm maturing and I actually love it. I am in one of the best eras of my life, but I also want to feel good. And I want to, I want to look on the outside how I feel on the inside. And I want to look vibrant and I want to look, glowy and I want to look good, but I also want to look like myself. And I also don't want all that crap in my face. We don't know the long term of this stuff and it doesn't vibe with me right now. And again, this is no shade to anybody, but this is just something that I want to be doing. And if you do fillers and you do Botox, you can still use this product. A lot of people who use Botox still use this to kind of extend their touch-ups and their next treatment or their next injection. So you can use this as well. So please make sure you subscribe because next month we are going to do the 60-day reveal. We're going to get into it. We're going to see if this thing really goes from small changes to real results. Make sure you like this video so, they continue to give me offer codes for the audience. Comment because I want to hear if you've ever used AngelLift. I want to hear if other products you might be using. You girl, we got to help each other out here. We are literally, we're in a dumpster fire. And, however we can have a little bit of sense of control and also have a little bit more self-esteem and a little bit more self-confidence, we got to help each other out. And please remember, there is an offer code. Code Donna, DONNA 10. Use code Donna 10 for 10% off and join me and let me know what you think. Let me know your little experiment. And if you're into this or if you're not, see you in 30 days, but maybe see you sooner because I do post other videos. Follow, like, subscribe, and I will see you on the other side. Bye guys.